Welcome back to Einstein Media Center, your one-stop shop for all unnecessary media dissection. Today we are joined by a very special guest as always, hailing all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. Please give a big welcome to the band Pretty Baby. How are y'all doing?
Hi, doing well. Doing well.
Man, thanks, Eric.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Can you just go around, introduce yourselves, your names, what you do in the band?
My name is Vince. I play the drums.
My name is Lenny. I play bass and synth.
My name is Rusty. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Ryan. I play guitar and synth.
So, how about a little bit of background? How did the band form, and then talk about what's going on right now for you guys.
The band Pretty Baby started as a solo project of mine, playing very different music than we're playing now. I think I was living with Lenny at the time, and eventually we started playing some of the stuff together. And I think really that was in like 2016 or 17. And then really it wasn't until like kind of COVID that we started kind of taking it seriously. And eventually this was kind of the lineup that formed. Ryan recorded our first EP and then joined the band.
Yeah.
What kind of music were you playing before when you started out the project initially, and how has that translated over into the sound that you've developed for your upcoming album that we're going to get a little bit more into?
Sure, yeah. Well, it was singer-songwriter sort of stuff, and that was all fine and good. But I think as soon as we started plugging guitars in and playing drums, I lost a little bit of, I still have interest in that stuff, but not as much.
Just wanted to play fast and loud.
Yeah. We just kind of hype each other up. And so I mean, I think there's still a little bit of that approach songwriting wise, but I certainly feel a lot less pressure to carry a song or whatever. We got a pretty good group.
So how would you as a band categorize the type of music you play, and what are some of the influences that you're trying to pull from when you're crafting your sound?
Vince was saying earlier that he's not going to answer that question because he doesn't know. I mean, I think that we can all speak a little bit to that, but I think that band like At the Drive-In is really important to us. A lot of those sort of turn of the century sort of post-hardcore bands, a lot of Discord bands. I think there's quite a bit of sort of like mid-2000s like post-punk stuff in there too, as well as some like minimalist composers. But yeah, I think we all kind of come from different backgrounds too, and
We absolutely do.
the way that sort of melds is fun.
I think every single one of us individually comes from a completely different background of music.
So when I was listening, At the Drive-In is definitely something I heard a lot of.
Sure.
And I would say since maybe like the 2010s, the style of post-hardcore that's kind of taken off is definitely a lot like slicker and more highly produced. I feel like you guys are bringing a sound back of like a lot of raw and emotive songs, and the way the songs are produced and the way they sound, it's definitely more reminiscent of that early 2000s turn of the century era. Is that something that like you're specifically going for? Is that an era of music that you all look back on and you're like, I kind of miss that sound, that looser sound, and are trying to like purposefully move away from, I don't want to say overproduced, but definitely like a bit of a slicker sound we find in a lot of today's post-hardcore?
I don't know. Did we do it by accident?
Personally, I would say I wouldn't so much. It's not so much being nostalgic. But in all honesty, I really just haven't paid any attention to modern post-hardcore. So it's just not an influence. It doesn't feel like it went a direction that is important to me. It does feel watered down, despite how much more money is obviously in it. And so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, leapfrog off that. Like, especially the record was recorded very professionally with very good equipment. I think so we're not like intentionally fucking it up in a sort of
Production sense.
drive way. Yeah, it really is. I think that for us, that's just the influence. It really is just those to us. Those are punk bands,
Yeah.
and they were recorded like it, and yeah, we embracing the sort of rough edges is the key. I think. I don't know.
Yeah. From a songwriting perspective, I think we're often leaning into being noisy and thinking of noise as a part of the song. So I think that, that translating into the production made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I could definitely see, and I'm not saying that it's like recorded poorly. I think like I like it from like a stylistic perspective, because to your point, like it is, you get some feedback, you get some noise, but it's like texture to the songs, and I think that's a really like interesting and artistic choice, and I think that is like again just kind of like different from what we get a lot of today. So that's really cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. Speaking of songwriting, that's another thing I wanted to touch on. Rusty obviously started as a solo project. You said you were doing some like singer-songwriter stuff. I'd like to hear, from everybody, like what's the songwriting process like now that it's a band and you're all together as a group?
This record, it's fully collaborative now. There will be like a riff, or something. We just find ourselves often at practice, just someone will just start playing something, and then we're like, man, that sounded really cool, and then it's like, let's record that and come back to it another time, and then make more parts. It seems like we're fully we've got like a really good writing chemistry after being very close friends and playing music together for so long now. So that wasn't super specific, but that's how I feel about
We
it.
do normally start with a fraction of a guitar riff.
Right.
Yeah.
Many of the songs on this record started with really just like not even what you would call the whole part of the chorus, and then it just is an additive thing, where the original part, there's multiple times where like, that's really cool, and now it's made what I'm playing not good.
Right.
And so it's like you can't.
It will happen and eclipse itself so many times that, often with this band in particular, like the idea that started this whole thing is not even in the song anymore.
Right.
Which is really fun. And sometimes, you go back and listen to old demos and you're like, damn, this song would have been really good if we did that.
We were just talking about this yesterday, actually, or a couple days ago, because 825 Greenwich Fucking Mean came out, the third single, and we were just like reminiscing about writing that song and how it was the hardest one,
It was broken.
and like it took us so long to figure out how to make that song good, and it was two different ideas.
I think it was more than two.
It was like three different songs, and then we were like, man, like let's just take this idea and put it on this song, and we'll just put all these three songs together.
Post-hardcore.
And that seemed to be the answer. And we've done that with a few songs.
Yeah.
We'll just have parts, and then it's like, we can take this idea, and that can be the song.
Shave the edges of the puzzle pieces. And
Yeah.
Right.
When you're doing something like that, like, is there any particular like inspiration for doing that? Like, are there any bands or any songs that you think of and you're like, yeah, they just kind of like threw some shit at the wall, threw it all together, and that's one of my favorite songs? Is there like something you're pulling from when you're doing stuff like that?
I think 100%. I feel the permission from the screamo post-hardcore genre, from like those the emo violence bands like Orchid, bands like that, where they would, sometimes parts just feel like you hit a brick wall, and they've just decided to be entirely quiet now. It's like now we're quiet, instead of, and now we're loud. And there's those sort of shifting quickly dynamics where it seemed like they got sick of trying to write transitions, and we're like, let's just not have transitions at all.
For you, Rusty, like given that this was like solo project, how has it felt kind of letting go of the reins and being like, this is a band, this is a collaborative thing now, it's other people's ideas, it's not just me, it's everybody now. Like, how has been letting go and getting other people involved for you, I guess, emotionally?
Well, it's good. I mean, for the it is so good. It's so much better. I feel so much less pressure. This is, I would much rather do this. But I think that, it ran into some friction only because this record, the subject matter was so sensitive, dealing with grief and stuff, that it felt like I would, really the difficult part was that I felt like I was imposing a strict sort of subject matter, and not allowing you guys to react if it wasn't right down the middle of that lane. You know what I mean? I think by the end of it, we sort of did a little better, but I was definitely having a hard time letting go and letting you guys collaborate.
I think we had sort of the opposite problem, and that you were making a real effort to make it a group project. And there was a couple times where it was like, this is a decision that you need to make because of the subject.
There's been so many times where I'm like, we have to make a decision, whatever the decision is, and I look at Rusty and I'm like, what do you think? And Rusty is just like, does not want the reins, but I still have the muscle memory of being like look at Rusty like
Yeah.
what do we do?
Yeah.
We have been doing that less now, and it does feel good.
Do you mind getting a little bit into the subject matter of the new album and some of the inspiration behind the lyrical themes and writing everything?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, my mother passed away in 2023, and that was kind of right in the middle of when we had started trying to really push to make a record, and it sort of immediately overwhelmed every other sort of concept for songwriting, and so we just kept cracking at it, and you turn around and it's like, oh damn, that's what every single song is about. And I mean, it was certainly cathartic, oftentimes really difficult to make yourself do, because at a certain point it's like, God, I'd really love to write a song that's angry about the government,
Party rock.
right. But yeah, but it was definitely I think a trying subject to do, but there was a time where the working title was 10 songs about death and dying, and then we layaway plot was, we were driving to a show, and that was a show, was that the Dead Guy show? No,
Richmond.
The Richmond show. I can't remember. We were driving, and I think it was earlier than that, but anyway, we had been spitballing names forever and nothing could stick. And Lenny suggested layaway plot. And I think we did never really look back.
Yeah.
Because
That was it.
It was a maybe, but it was a very quiet maybe.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Playing the game.
Yeah.
That was the name.
Shout out to Lenny, because it's a pretty banger name for an album.
Hell yes, fucking totally agree.
These things can kind of be like a bit all consuming, like personally. Did and I understand like writing about this stuff is cathartic and whatnot. Is
I got it.
like putting a I don't want to label it as a concept album, but like positioning it with a concept, does that put like any additional pressure on like, oh God, I really have to like flesh this all out and really
Right.
now I'm really in it. Like, did that provide like any additional pressure to like either sculpt the album in a specific way or anything like that?
Yeah, I think 100%. I mean, like for better and for worse, because I think that a lot of the times, parameters are so useful for making something where, like, deciding that this is how, the guidelines and putting blinders onto sort of every other path can be really useful. And but also, yeah, I was very both aesthetically and artistically, it was very like we had to just say no to ideas because it wasn't right. We didn't have there was a lot of ideas got tossed out because of like there was no real logical reason. It was just like that's not what we're doing.
Feeling right, yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, I mean, I think it's mostly for the better. I really like the idea of limiting oneself to sort of having to, sort of focus on a concept. But I also, yeah, it was I don't know, it was mostly really fun. I really liked having a theme to work towards.
And then I'd just like to hear from everybody. Is there a particular like song or a particular moment on the album that you are all either individually like proud of or or just particularly fond of and like excited for people to hear?
Are we unanimous on that?
I got a couple. I got a couple.
Okay.
Difference Engine is probably the most unexpected triumph of that record.
Yeah,
That's just
I saw that too.
It's so simple and it's just really good. But I think my favorite moment for me, like playing bass on the record, is probably the way we came up with how Sleep Drum starts.
Yeah.
The way that song kicks off makes me feel great every time. Yeah, might be my favorite.
We didn't record it that way. You talking about when you do come in?
Yeah.
Is it starting?
Yeah, it's recorded with
Because it starts with him. It starts with Rusty on the record.
Yeah.
We started differently live than we do on the record.
But yeah, I thought that was a no-brainer first single for sure. I
Yeah,
love that intro so much.
that song is awesome.
My favorite on the record is definitely 825. In particular, the outro is I think my favorite moment on the record.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, even at practice when we play that song, when we hit that outro, I feel everybody feeling it. So
That was a fun part writing too, because we had like that end is like playing off of the riff from the beginning, but like with less of the odd time signature stuff.
Yeah.
And when that idea popped up and we tried it, it was like, cool, there it is.
Yeah. Good on. Yeah.
I am going to try to think of one that's not 825. 825 is my favorite to play on drums. Well,
Man, I have exactly 1 million moments from the record that I'm so excited about. I'm really trying to shave those down.
yeah.
I'll say one no one said. There's the oldest song on the record is a song called Ghost Teller. And the outro to that song came out so exactly what it was in my head for many years that like it's hard not to be like I'm so excited to hear that song every time we listen to Ghost Teller. It's like a brand new song to me just because of how perfect I think the mix and the recording and everything is. 825, I mean, come on.
I mean,
it's a really good track.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think my favorite song to play on the drums is Grappled and Poisoned. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, something about just.
That's one of my favorites to play too.
I love playing that song.
I think Atom Bomb is my biggest personal success as far as convincing you guys it was a good song.
So I'd love to dig into that a little bit. Why, in your opinion, like, was that such a hard sell to the band?
I don't remember. Did I hate it?
Well,
I love that song
I
now,
don't,
by the way.
I don't think anybody hated it. It was just so kind of. I just had to be kind of like, come on, guys. It's cool because there's no most of the songs have a big climactic ending or a big sort of dynamic shift that sort of offers some clear catharsis. And I think that song was taking a bigger swing at a sort of less. The song is really intentionally just like some like musical stuff. Like there's no. It's really hard to tell if it's in a major or minor key because we don't ever play like that part of the chord. And so it's like it's very agnostic as far as the way you're left to feel. And I really like that about that song, especially coming before Layaway Plot, which is like not Layaway Plot, Faraway Lights, which is the like thesis of the record, I guess.
You sent me the album to listen to. I was particularly fond of Faraway Lights. I thought that.
Yeah, I think we're all just really used to it, but that one hits
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
That's the ending of that thing is utterly cathartic.
We constantly when we play live try to like sometimes when we're writing out set lists we're like, man, can we just like is there any other song we can close this set with? And it's just like
Not
no. And then I mean like it's not
It would be the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, no, that one's a banger. That one is very
Right.
cathartic. It's very epic. People should look forward to that one for sure. But speaking of, a little bit more on the track list, I didn't have a second to count there. 11 tracks, is that correct?
Yeah.
11 tracks and 2 instrumentals. So, I'd like to talk a little bit about that. I feel that I like them. They were both great songs, but what made you want to kind of give pause in the record but maybe it's a little longer than an interlude, but include some instrumental tracks in there?
Is it 3 instrumental tracks? Intro?
Well, that's true. I forgot about that.
But
forgot
yeah,
about
I guess
the intro.
technically three. But yeah.
Okay.
The intro is not so much of a song,
Right.
as it is a thing that you can listen to.
Much
It's
like a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be, I don't want to pretend that we when we were recording, I think we all talked about it beforehand that we should because we only had 4 days to do 10 songs, and so we were sort of like we should certainly, we're in a beautiful studio, the Delatorium in Kernersville. We're recording with someone we've always wanted to record with. Shout out Jeremy Snyder. And we should embrace the sort of emergent stuff that happens. And I think the intro and different things that we had written before we got in there, but it wasn't like super. Anyway, we just we looked around and turned out we had 3 instrumental songs. And I know that we the last one, Pretty Baby Sings to the Mud, is a track that we only ever played live for like 2 or 3 times, and it was a spontaneous every time.
It's not an actual song. It's
Yeah.
actually different every single time we play it.
Record is the 4th time we ever.
It was always just kind of like a weird instrumental thing we would just do live, and we were like, oh, we got time. We were in the studio and we were like, let's record that, and just see what we do.
I like
And we did it again. We just played it. And it's,
As far as the decision making with the track list and those being on there, I'm really glad that's what happened. Because I think what ended up happening is, in the liner notes, they're lyrics for all the songs, and for each of the instrumental songs, the first one is a moment to prepare. Different Sensation is a moment to reflect, and
oh yeah.
Pretty Baby Sings to the Mud is a moment to say goodbye. And that was when the emotional use case of those songs became clear to me. It was just like, wow, this is actually, you know, we were just putting songs on a record. I don't want to be too pretentious about it. Like,
I mean, I think that Difference Engine was very intentional. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like we were like Difference Engine. That's the breath of fresh air in the middle of the record.
yeah, if you Vince very famously uses an unorthodox percussion item on Difference Engine that made that song.
They're called
Uh,
boingas.
They're not.
It's like I guess I have to explain. They're like they're like these. Me and Ryan lived together for a while, and there's like this table decoration, but they're made of like brass,
Yeah, they're like
and they each have a note, like ding ding dong dong ding ding dong dong. And I started using them as a percussion instrument, and we just call them the jaboingas.
they're
We didn't
like
know what else to call them.
They were in key.
They're in key to the song, but like that was the weird part because I brought them into the practice space, and then we were like playing the song, and I picked them up and I started like playing them. I was like, we were like, holy shit, these are in key. Anyways, yeah, sorry.
To talk a little bit more about Pretty Baby Sings to the Mud, I don't want to give it all away, but
No.
the ending was shocking.
Sure.
So,
It gets me every time, dude. Yeah.
so I, just wanted to
Shout out
understand.
Jeremy.
Again, don't have to give it all away, but what was the thought process for doing that? Is there some metaphor to that, or is there anything that you're trying to communicate with that type of ending to the album?
Well,
Was it Jeremy?
we were well. So the
Rusty's idea.
yeah. So the we initially had just recorded it and had like a sort of big climactic ending, and I think that all of us after listening to the record a couple times were like, that's pretty similar to the climactic ending that we already experienced as a listener. You know what I mean? Like, it sort of felt like a retread a little bit, but I think the idea sort of occurred that like a hard door shutting on the record, on the subject matter, on that period as a band writing those songs, and sort of we had the idea of just like a hard cut with some sort of thing, and then the guy that engineered and produced it, Jeremy, chose the sample. It's hard to sort of even make out what it is, but it feels like the real world. Feels like someplace, and going directly having to shut the door on all this and go back into the real world felt pretty ideal
Yeah,
to me. It was really, yeah.
it definitely feels appropriate that you don't get to just simply resolve.
Right. Exactly.
It happened in the midst of life, and life will continue afterward. It's pretty good metaphorically for that, I think.
And like I really, again, like I just taking the I think finding the meaning and stuff before, during, and after is like integral to understanding your work better. Like I love how much of this record was, and this parts of the songs and were at some points entirely out of our hands, how it sounded, or what we embrace on the finished product is very exciting to me.
That was a great answer. I love that. Speaking of the finished product and seeing how that influence the music itself and how they're integral to each other, you have the vinyl coming out, and so open for pre-order, everybody go buy it. But can you talk a little bit about like designing the packaging for that and how you find that reflects the music and the subject matter, et cetera, et cetera?
I would love to, but I can't. No, I'm just kidding. I'd love to. I really feel like I'm gonna really give it all away here, but we really wanted. In my head, I really wanted a mix of the At the Drive-In album, In Casino Out, and Nebraska by Bruce Springsteen, and that was part of the pitch to Ryan's friend Evan, who designed the cover. And we got a photo from a friend named Sid, and I did really love this idea of this sort of cut of you know, this beautiful piece of land amongst the design, amidst the design. But then just the idea of like the really stark imagery from Nebraska, and then yeah, there's a little side. I mean, if you look at those records side by side, and then look at ours, it's pretty clear what happened.
You talk about the die cut or whatever that's called, the window.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's really actually really exciting. It was the rest of the materials for the record were designed, especially for the physical copy, were designed by Shad Tuck from Mishap Records, one of the labels, putting out the vinyl, and the actual physical copy has a die cut window. So the inner sleeve is actually that full photo, and the cover is this window actually cut out to see that section of the photo that's on the digital. It's kind of hard to explain, but
We haven't seen it ourselves, but it is going to be that like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
allegedly.
That sounds really sick. That is going to be really cool.
We had to pick between
It's gonna be awesome.
color vinyl
Or the die cut.
or dark. And we
not
were like
going
back
to
us.
Yeah, me too.
Also, we wanted a black record because that is just cool,
Yeah.
objectively cool, in my opinion.
So with the album, it's coming out in April, is that correct?
Yeah, April 3rd is the official release date.
Nice. So with that, do we have plans for a tour or anything like that lined up to help get the word out, so to speak?
Yeah, we're playing at our number one favorite. We're playing at our favorite bar in Charlotte on the 4th, April 4th. It is
Snug Harbor.
Snug Harbor.
Snug Harbor, yes.
Sorry, really short circuit in there. Sorry, sometimes when I have to promote stuff, I freak out.
April 4th at Snug Harbor.
Yeah.
With
How come Bravo Pueblo? Yeah, it's gonna be a really
introduction by the professor.
yeah, it's gonna be a really fun time. And then yeah, we are taking the show on the road.
What cities are we hitting?
I have I have it right here, but
How much don't you tell them this?
yeah, we're gonna do we're doing like 6 days at minimum up the East Coast and back down. Richmond, Philadelphia, New York City, and Queens, Baltimore, Raleigh, and Greensboro.
Is there anything that I missed? Anything you guys wanted to hit on?
The records are, you can pre-order them from The Ghost is Clear Records. You can pre-order them from Expert Work Records and from Mishap Records. All three of those have limited supply. We'll have them at the shows.
Yeah, we'll have them at the release show and at the shows on tour.
I will say, if they sell at the release show,
Yeah.
we won't be going on tour.
We're just gonna check that box.
Sorry to all the venues we just mentioned.
Valid. So, last question about the music, and then I got one more after. So, last question is, can you explain to me and the audience what playing the metal staircase means?
It's a lot more literal than you'd
Right.
There's
yeah, that's you.
There's like a metal spiral staircase in the live room at Fidelatorium, and we used it as percussion.
On
Heart failure.
heart failure. Yeah.
There's a sound in Heart Failure where it goes, "Just let go."
Ding ding.
And it's the
And that's Ryan
right.
hitting a spiral staircase. in the middle of the room.
Right now, man, I'm gonna give you your flowers here, Ryan, because everyone said, "Don't do that."
And then he did it.
Everyone was like, "That'll be stupid, dude." And then Ryan just went in and bing, bing, and they came back and were like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool."
Yeah, we I actually still have the drumstick. It's in my stick bag, and it has the paint from the staircase on it. I've shown you this at practice.
You can auction that off.
Because I pulled it out. I pulled it out, and I was like, I didn't notice it was in my bag. I didn't know it was in my bag. I pulled it out to grab a stick, and it was just covered in like black paint. And I was like, "Holy shit! This is the staircase stick."
Don't tell Fidelatorium.
Really excellent thinking outside of the box there, because we really did walk into a studio that had most instruments from your wildest dreams.
Yeah.
This man chose
The stairs.
the right answer. It was the
It's on brand for me.
Well, you ever just like walk around a room and just, I mean, maybe this is a drummer in me, but like you just walk around a room,
Oh, yeah.
hit things and see what they sound like.
Oh, yeah.
Just like-
Listeners, 70s Rickenbacker, no thanks. That was fun.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
No, there's
will be
there's a
some more
more
on tour.
figurative meaning to it, really.
Yeah, can we cut that out and cut in the figurative one?
What's the figurative meaning?
It's like when you're
Something stairway out.
Something stairway to heaven.
Nice. Nice. Cool. So my last question, I ask every band this and every interview with this. If I were to come to your city, what is the one either food or restaurant or whatever it is I would have to try before I leave?
Hot dog.
Oh man, I mean, I have a restaurant. It's not a restaurant per se, but it is a takeout spot.
I'm having crazy days. What is it?
It's Curry Gate.
Curry Gate all day.
Curry Gate in Charlotte.
Wow.
That's my favorite close by Indian spot. We just talking food? We talking bars too?
Well, I could go to Charlotte, so I need to hear it all.
Right. Yeah.
I would go to this new little area called The Pass and go to Soul Gastro Lounge. Stylus Sound Lounge, I think
Yeah.
it's called, has the best tuned speakers for listening to music, and it's like a venue for DJs. It's really, really fun little
They have
cocktail
DJs like
bar.
every night. That's awesome.
And it's next to a pool hall called Borderlines that actually has regulation sized tables that are free.
And we're a pool band. We love pool.
Fun
So
stuff,
Fun space.
That's sick.
You should go to Thai Taste.
Oh,
And you should go to the best burger in Charlotte is a place called Surefire in Camp North End. You should get 12 High Lives from Skyline Superette.
did we put them on the line?
You should, if you come to Charlotte, the thing that you can't miss is going to Snug Harbor and beautiful Plus Midwood. That's the
Snug Harbor is the best place.
6 to 7 nights a week. They have the best programming in Charlotte.
You do also have to go to the Milestone if there's a show. But yes.
Child Milestone.
We Skyline Superette, we put them in the liner notes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the gas station across from our practice space where we get beer. and
And food.
and
Yeah.
fried chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good food. They don't have a website or anything, so it's really
the only way this word gets out is from us.
Yeah.
What about you, Red?
I was gonna say dish for food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Distraction.
Dish is good.
the oldie goldie.
Nice.
On the
Nice.
Midwest.
And Petra's
Also,
for music.
if you're trying to close out a bar,
Good country.
you go to Midwood Country Club.
It's not a country club.
It's not a country club,
That's sort of ironic.
but yeah.
Album out April 3rd.
That's right.
Album
And
out
release
April.
show April 4th.
Release show April 4th. And everybody go out, pre-order that album. Where can they get the album?
They can get it from our Bandcamp digitally, or they can get it from the websites or Bandcamps of Expert Work Records, The Ghost is Clear, and Mishap Records. They'll get a digital download if they pre-order the
Final.
final.
Or come see us on our East Coast tour and grab one in person.
Or else.
Well, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you doing this and stopping by and everything.
Thank you for having
Harris,
us.
thank you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.